What is up, everybody? I know it's been a little while since my last video, but I am back with my 10 favorite albums from 2008. Been sporadically doing these top 10s for every year since 1975. Over the last couple years now, trying to get them all done. I've done everything from 75 up to 2007 as of now. Just got like a couple more, honestly, then I'll be done with this. But 2008, pretty good year. Just my favorites here as usual. Here we go. Starting off the list at number 10 is Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder by Cradle of Filth. Really cool stuff here. Pretty long album. It's about 70 minutes, 13 tracks, but a lot of good material here. The sound is amazing on it. It was produced by Andy Sneap, and pretty much anything he produces has great sound. Danny Filth, as usual, sounds great. He's got a super cool, unique voice. The drumming is insane on here from Marthus, who is still in the band now, killing it. I got Paul Allender on lead guitar, and he's just amazing. Love his playing. But as usual, Cradle of Filth is a tough band to classify directly as one genre. They mix a lot of stuff together. Some black metal elements, symphonic elements, gothic elements. Really, so people just call them extreme metal, but whatever. Great stuff. Looking at these songs, Shout Out of Hell is maybe my favorite. Even The Death of Love, I think, is really cool. It's got a nice melody, nice rhythm to it. Very catchy song. Even like the chorus. It's got some really good female vocals in there. The 13th Caesar actually probably is my favorite song on here. Tragic Kingdom, that one, especially at the beginning, has a very black metal feel to it for the first 10 or 15 seconds with the riff and the drumming. But all over, really good album here. Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder, number 10. Next up at number 9 is The Formation of Damnation by Testament. Really good album here. It was kind of a comeback album for them at the time. They didn't break up, but they hadn't released anything in a while, and Alex Skolnick came back to the band on lead guitar. The first album with him since The Ritual in 1992, so great to have him back in the band. The guy is an insane virtuoso, amazing guitar player, and this is actually my favorite album with them since he's come back to the band. Everything they've done, though, over the last 12, 13, 14 years has been really good, but this one's still my favorite. Chuck Billy sounds amazing on the vocals. You got Paul Bostaff doing the drumming, who's fantastic, and Eric Peterson, of course, on rhythm guitar, Greg Christian on bass. All-around great lineup. Testament always has an absolutely just insane lineup. They got Dave Lombardo in the band right now on drums, Steve DiGiorgio on bass, just crazy stuff. But looking at these songs here, there's 11 of them. A couple of my favorites, I'd probably go with More Than Meets the Eye, The Evil Has Landed, and probably Henchman Ride. But again, top to bottom, great stuff. Awesome thrash. And yeah, that is my number 9, The Formation of Damnation. Next up at number 8 is the self-titled album by Dismember. Really good stuff here, and currently it is their most recent album. If it's their last, it is a fantastic one to go out on. Top to bottom, it's freaking awesome. I mean, you could say that about most of their stuff. They're one of the best death metal bands of all time, and just really love their style and sound. To me, I always kind of say they're like the death metal version of Iron Maiden. The melody with them is just amazing. The guitar harmonies, David Blomqvist is just an amazing player. Maddie Karki's really cool on the vocals, and they do have that like typical Swedish death metal sound with the muddy guitar tone and style, which I do really like. It's brutal and heavy, but also, as I said, very melodic and kind of Iron Maiden-like at the same time. Very cool. Looking at these songs, 11 of them. Under a Blood Red Sky is definitely my favorite on here, but looking at the rest, Tide of Blood is really good. No Honor in Death, Black Sun to close out the album. Again, top to bottom, really awesome stuff. Dismember rules, so their self-titled album's here at number 8 for me. Next up at number 7 is Horna, their album from 2008. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that because I'll absolutely butcher it. But Horna is an amazing black metal band from Finland. Most of their stuff, especially in this era, like this one and the previous 3 albums, specifically with the guy Corvus on vocals, is all amazing. Very like dark, cold, primal, aggressive black metal, but very raw tone and sound, but also maintains a very nice sense of melody as well. Shatrig on guitar, the band leader, is just insane. Love his playing. He's also the leader of Sargeist, who is an amazing band as well, but the dude is just awesome on guitar. And looking at these songs, there's 14 of them. Again, I guess it's all in Finnish, so I can't pronounce any of it, but you don't need to be able to pronounce the band's songs or their name or whatever it may be to enjoy their music. You know, the music's great. That's what matters. And I'd probably go with the second song. I guess I can try here. Äärelle. That one, definitely my favorite on the album, but top to bottom, very awesome stuff. Not everybody's cup of tea, but if you're not much into black metal, maybe give it a chance. You can get warmed up to it, but really good stuff here. Horna at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is The Black Curse by Lord Belial. Great stuff. Freaking love these guys. They're one of my favorite black metal bands. Really awesome, like melodic black metal from Sweden. I will say, if you are not into black metal and you're trying to get into it, Lord Belial is probably a better band than Horna to start out with. They have better production, better sound. It's not as crazy and out there. It's a little more melodic, especially at this point in their career. They do have some heavier, more aggressive stuff at times, but this one, nice melodic black metal, and it's also really cool. 3/4 of this band are brothers, the Backlund brothers, so I think that's really cool. There's 10 songs. Looking at these, Pazuzu, to open it up, is great. Trumpets of Doom's a really great one as well. Top to bottom, again, great stuff. And they actually do have a new album coming out. First one since this release in May, so really looking forward to that. It's called Rapture. Be on the lookout for that. The first single they released is absolutely amazing. But yeah, really good stuff here. The Black Curse, number 6.
Consequences when I gave you the keys to my heart.
Next up at number 5 is Lightning Strikes Again by Dokken. Really good album here, and I think it's a little bit overlooked. I feel like a lot of people that are into the 80s glam metal type of bands will just straight up ignore or dismiss a lot of those bands like more modern material, and that is a big mistake here if you're doing that. If you haven't heard this and you're a fan of 80s Dokken, you need to go listen to this ASAP, because it's got a very similar feel and tone and sound to Back for the Attack, in my opinion. You know, top to bottom, a lot of good songs here. Standing on the Outside is amazing to open it up. Give Me a Reason and probably Point of No Return are my favorites. Don still sounds really good on the vocals. He's got one of my favorite voices of all time. Just love his really smooth, melodic style. And John Levin is an amazing guitar player. He's been Dokken's guitarist for about 20 years now, and the guy freaking shreds. I know he's not George Lynch, but he definitely holds his own, and all over this album. Great solos, great tone, great riffs. So go check this out ASAP if you are into 80s Dokken or just classic heavy metal in general. Lightning Strikes Again, number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Eidolon by Dark Fortress. Another really great black metal band here for a while. They were my favorite black metal band like a year or two, but they're still in the top 5. Just great melodic stuff from Germany, and this is their first album with Morian on vocals. He is the guy they have right now. I do slightly prefer Azathoth, who was their singer on the first 4 albums, but Morian's still great, and this is still a great album. Seraph on the drums is a freaking machine. This guy is insane on the drums. Sounds amazing all over this, and apparently he recently left the band. So that sucks, but yeah, great album here. Looking at these songs, I got to go with The Silver Gate, probably Cohorror and The Unflesh is my favorites, but top to bottom, another really, really awesome album here. Eidolon, Dark Fortress, number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Omega by the band Azagal. Killer black metal here. They're from Finland. Just very aggressive, raw, angry sounding stuff here. Narkoth on guitar is pretty much like the band leader. He's the only guy that's been there since the beginning. He also does some bass, clean vocals at times. The main vocalist here, his name is something like Varjo Hera. Probably mispronounced it again. All this stuff is in Finnish, all the song titles, so pretty much gonna butcher anything I attempt here. But the first song, the second song, and the fourth song are my favorites, top to bottom though. This is great, definitely one of their best albums. Omega, number 3. Next up at number 2 is Groza by Mgła. Really amazing Polish black metal band. This is my favorite album by them. Not the most popular pick, but I just think it's really raw, but again, has super amazing melody, just mesmerizing riffs and rhythms and melodies, and just almost put you in like a hypnotic trance listening to this stuff. And it's really easy to remember the song names. We just got Groza 1, Groza 2, Groza 3, and Groza 4 is what they're called. Very long songs, but they're all awesome, so this is my number 2. And some honorable mentions real quick as usual. I've got Killing Season by Death Angel. Really good thrash metal band and really solid album right there. Bondage Goat Zombie by Belphegor, really close to making it. That's probably the heaviest band I've ever seen live. Really good show. Ultra Beatdown by Dragon Force, got to give a shout out. I like Dragon Force. Think Sam, Toteman, and Herman Lee are a great guitar duo. Those guys, they shred. Don't care what anybody says. The Age of Nero by Satyricon, I will give a shout to. You know, it's not amazing, but I still think it's pretty good. Love Frost strumming. Scream Aim Fire by Bullet for My Valentine. You know, make fun of me if you want, I don't care, but that album has some pretty good stuff on it. Death Magnetic by Metallica. Again, you know, I remember getting that album when I was like 12, and I liked it, and it's still not a bad album. I definitely prefer that over Hardwired, so definitely gets an honorable mention. And the first Enforcer album. But that is pretty much all I've got for honorables. Now, on to my number 1.
Millions of detachment from myself, where I come from, my honest memory, instant interfering of my body function, distracted from.
And taking the number 1 spot for me is Agony of Death by Holy Moses. I've talked about this band a ton on my channel over the past few years. They're my favorite band from Germany. They're my favorite female-fronted band with Sabina Klassen on vocals, who is amazing. She has a really great, aggressive, kind of guttural style she does, which is awesome. This album here has a really cool kind of apocalyptic atmosphere to it. Very technical guitar work from Michael Hankel, who was incredible when he was in the band. It's unfortunate that he is no longer there. And of course, back to the old days with Andy Klassen, who was a freaking maestro on guitar. But looking at these songs, a lot of great stuff. Alien Nation, Imagination, World in Darkness. A lot of it, as you can tell by these titles, just really dark atmosphere. As I said, kind of a apocalyptic feel to it. But really awesome stuff. I really dig most of this band's material, and this is one of my favorites by them. Agony of Death, my number 1 of 2008, and that does wrap up the list. As usual, let me know what you guys thought and give me your top 10 albums from 2008 in the comments. And until next time, thank y'all for watching.